Chapter 39 of Raymie, Nightingale. Here are a couple of questions to think about. How did Beverly tell Louisiana she can win the contest? Why does Raymie feel like she is a different person? What caused happiness to wash over Raymie? Where were you? Said Raymie. Let's just say I had some things to take care of, said Beverly. What things? Asked Louisiana. I had a little sabotaging to do. Oh no, said Raymie. It's no big deal, said Beverly. I just threw a few trophies in the lake. What trophies? Said Raymie. Baton twirling trophies. You threw Idane's trophies in the lake, said Louisiana. Not all of them were hers, said Beverly. But how could you do that? Squeaked Louisiana. That is the end of everything. Idane will call the cops again, and we will never be able to return. I will never learn how to twirl. Listen to me, said Beverly. You don't need to learn how to twirl. All you have to do is sing. That will win any contest. As soon as Beverly said the words, Raymie knew that they were true. Louisiana's singing would win any contest, and Raymie wanted Louisiana to win. She wanted her to become Little Miss Central Florida Tire. Raymie stopped. She held herself very still. Why are you stopping? Said Louisiana. Come on, said Beverly, let's go. Raymie started walking again. The three of them were outside, together in the darkness, but it was surprisingly easy to see. There was Beverly's flashlight, of course, and there were street lights and porch lights. Half a moon was hanging up in the sky, and the sidewalk in front of them glowed silver. A dog barked. Suddenly, the Golden Glen loomed up out of the darkness like a ship that had run aground. That stupid nursing home, said Beverly. I hate that place. Listen, said Louisiana. She put her hand on Raymie's arm. Shh. Raymie stopped. Beverly kept walking. Do you hear? Said Louisiana. Raymie heard a rustle of something in the bushes, the hum of electricity from the streetlight, the buzz of insect wings. A dog, the same one, or maybe a different one, barked and then barked again. And behind all those noises, Raymie could hear the faint sound of music. Someone's playing the piano, said Louisiana. Whoop-dee-doo, and so what? Said Beverly from up ahead. It was very beautiful, sad music, which was how Raymie knew that it was probably Chopin, and that it was probably the janitor playing it again. It seemed like a very long time ago that she had tried to do a good deed for Isabel and ended up writing a letter of complaint instead. It was almost like she had been a different person. Then Raymie stared up at the Golden Glen. There was a light on in the common room. Come on, said Beverly, we're wasting time. Isn't it the most beautiful music? Said Louisiana. Raymie stood very still. The light from the common room lit up the top of the trees. She saw something bright yellow in the bushes, in the branches. Her heart thumped. She put a hand on Louisiana's shoulder. Look, she said. What? Where? Said Louisiana. Where? Shine the flashlight up there, Raymie said to Beverly. She pointed, and Beverly shone the flashlight up in the trees, and there was the yellow bird. He looked like the answer to everything, sitting there on a branch, tiny and perfect and winged. He cocked his head, looking down at them. Oh, said Louisiana, that's the bird I rescued. That's him. Hello, Mr. Bird. Beverly kept the flashlight trained on the yellow bird. The piano music stopped, and the bird let out a long trill of notes. And then there was a creaking sound of a window being opened. The janitor stood and looked out into the darkness. Raymie saw his face. It was a sad face. He was looking for something. Beverly turned off the flashlight. Hit the ground, she said. All three of them lay flat on their stomachs. The sidewalk was still warm from the day's sun. Raymie leaned her cheek against it and waited. She heard Louisiana's lungs wheezing, and then the janitor whistled. The bird stopped singing. The janitor whistled again. The bird whistled back. The janitor did a more complicated whistle. The bird answered him with a song of his own. "Oh," said Louisiana. And that was all any of them said. Even Beverly was listening, silent, listening, while the janitor and the yellow bird sang to each other. Raymie stared up at the moon. It looked like it was getting bigger, but she knew that couldn't be true. But, still, half the globe of it was starting to look like something from a dream, something like something that Mrs. Borkowski would have pulled out of the suitcase. And the singing yellow bird seemed like something that had been hidden in Mrs. Borkowski's dream suitcase, too. Suddenly, Raymie was happy. It was the strangest thing, how happiness came out of nowhere and inflated your soul. She wondered if her father was sleeping, wherever he was. She wondered if he was dreaming of her without even really intending to do it. She hoped so. The whistling stopped. The janitor said, "I know you're out there." There was a rustling in the trees. The bird shot up into the darkness and flew away. "Now," whispered Beverly. The three girls got up and ran as fast as they could. They ran until the Golden Glen was far behind them. When they stopped, Louisiana threw herself down on the ground. She sat on the grass with her hands on her knees and her head bent forward, and worked at taking in great gulps of air. Beverly said, "Breathe, breathe." Louisiana looked up at them. She said, "I just love that little yellow bird." "I love him too," said Raymie. Louisiana smiled at her. Beverly put the flashlight under her chin and said in a deep voice, "We all love the little bird." And then she grinned. The world was dark. The moon was still high in the sky. Happiness washed over Raymie again.